I want to come out with those hot takes like Jesse Winker, we're doing it. Hello, my friends, and welcome to Blue Jays Today, where we always have something to say about the Toronto Blue Jays. I'm your host, Nicholas Blaylock.
And I'm your host, Adam Peddle. And today, guys, we're going to be talking about the American League and National League MVP award. Who is going to bring home the crown? Before we get into it, guys, make sure to like, comment, subscribe, click that post notification button so you can stay up to date. Everything baseball, everything Toronto Blue Jays. All right, guys, we're going right into it. We're going to start with the National League MVP. Let's talk about a few names who are up in the contention, up in the running for the award.
Let's freaking do it, bro.
Let's start off with the one and the only Fernando Tatis Jr.
Yeah, he just came back from the IL, and obviously the first game back going 4 for 5, 2 home runs, playing a position that he doesn't usually play in the outfield. Fernando Tatis Jr. is a stud, and looking at what he's done this year, he's got a 300 batting average, a 379 on base, a 675 slugging, and a 1.054 OPS. OPS, that is the best in the league. Now, he's not actually qualified right now because he's got 320 at-bats, but that's going to change very soon because I was looking at it, and Bryce Harper has 337 at-bats, and he is qualified. So in a couple at-bats, Tatis is going to be qualified, and that's going to put him first in OPS. That's going to put him first in slugging. This kid is incredible, and the fact that he's got only 320 at-bats and also 33 home runs, a crap load of RBIs, a crap load of runs, a crap load of stolen bases. He's having a hell of a year.
To comment on those home runs, first in the National League in home runs, all right? So putting it right there. And also second in the National League in runs scored. Currently, DraftKings has him as the favorite with negative 300 betting odds. Tatis Jr. has been absolutely exceptional. Now that he's playing in right field and even handling the injuries, you know what? Even handling the injuries is impressive in its own right.
Totally.
Coming back and still doing well when your team is in the middle of a playoff race, that's really good.
Zero decline whatsoever. Zero time involved in getting back in the rhythm. He just comes out, goes 4 for 5, slaps a couple dingers it's no problem in a position that he literally doesn't even play.
He just learned, and that's a definition of MVP in my mind.
Now, looking at some of the competition, dude, talking about a Bryce Harper, he's number 2 right now. I was looking at Vegas Insider. I know you have slightly different odds, but roughly we're looking at like plus 500 right now on the betting odds, and compared to a negative 300 on a Tatis. So definitely a far away number 2, but it is a Bryce Harper. What about Bryce Harper? Does he got a shot here? What's he doing?
It's really interesting. Bryce Harper's having just a sneaky, really good year. His slash line is 297, and on base of 414. That's second best in the NL. 567 and the 981. An OPS. That is incredible. Second right now, currently not including Tatis in that mix because he's not counted for. Really good for Bryce Harper, even though he has a little bit of a down year on the home runs. 21 home runs.
The thing is, I was looking into this because the production as a whole isn't crazy, guys. 68 runs, 49 RBIs, and basically I own him in fantasy, and the whole thing this entire year has kind of been like Bryce Harper's been really solid, like a 567 slugging. And like you said, OPS is crazy. His teammates just aren't really being on base when he needs them to. And when he's on base, they're not really scoring him. Now, that doesn't go anything about the home runs, like 21 home runs. You'd think it'd be more than that. But as far as RBIs and runs scored, that's the reasoning behind that.
Yeah, exactly. So as for the Philadelphia Phillies, Bryce Harper is definitely the MVP. He's showing up and he's doing it. So, kudos to him for sneakily coming back into this one. He's been a late bloomer.
Totally.
And a guy who actually has been doing it all season long, but so consistent, man. So consistent. Max Muncy's another runner-up in this category with a 272 average, 402 on base, 550 slugging, and an OPS of 952. Now, he's on the Dodgers, and everyone else on the Dodgers is doing really well.
He's on the best team, well, arguably the best team in baseball, definitely one of them. And I mean, but he is their MVP right now, I would argue.
Yeah,
like
absolutely.
He is or at least on the batting side of things.
Yeah.
He's been solid. 25 dingers, 71 runs scored, 69 RBIs. Nice. So just like across the board, having a really good year. And he is third right now in the Vegas betting odds. So looking at the NL, bro, who you got and why?
Yeah, I mean, I'm going to go the easy route. I got to go Tatis Jr. Like I could see him winning it. Obviously, if he comes back and he gets hurt and he's done for the year, I think Bryce Harper might sneak up on him. But, man, this guy's an absolute beast. Like, he's going to finish the year strong. He's going to win it. He deserves it. I feel like the whole committee that votes in the MVP will not allow Tatis to not win it.
No.
You know, if he's healthy and doing what he's doing. My vote's Tatis.
Yeah, it definitely does come down to a health thing for me right now. I don't anticipate any drop-off from Tatis whatsoever. So even if Harper maintains the level that he's doing, which I certainly think he can do as well, if Tatis remains healthy, it's Tatis. Now, granted, Tatis is at 320 at-bats. If he gets hurt, and let's say he doesn't reach that 430 at bat mark, because I was looking back at like the last 10 years of MVPs, and it feels like you kind of have to have like minimum like mid 400 at bats to kind of qualify.
You gotta play.
Exactly. So it's like if that happens and he does miss out on like, I don't know, 25 more games of baseball, then my money is immediately going on a Bryce Harper. Granted, he would have to stay healthy, but as of right now, Fernando Tatis Jr., he's your NL MVP. He's coming home with the hard work.
I'd put money on it. I mean, the money's not going to get you much return at this point because it's almost like a lock.
Yeah.
But definitely put money on it.
I mean, 675 slugging.
It's incredible. I've never seen that. It's first in the MLB. Like, that's messed up.
Yes, it truly is messed up.
All right, let's look at the other side of the league, as some of our Blue Jays fans are really curious to hear about the American League MVP. Let's start with the man, the two-way wonder, Shohei Ohtani, who has just made absolute waves this year. He is really, really breaking into the league, staying healthy and showing what he can do on both sides of the ball. Tell us a little bit about Shohei.
271 batting average for Ohtani, a 363 on base, a 653 slugging. That would be second behind a Fernando Tatis Jr. and a 1.017 OPS. That is just with the bat. And when you look at the actual production numbers, obviously leading the league in home runs with 39, pretty much on pace for 50 plus right now, 86 ribbies, 78 runs scored, and also 17 stolen bases. This guy runs to first in slugging right now for qualified batters. When Tatis is qualified, he will be second. Second in OPS, just behind Vlad. Third in RBIs. He's doing it like crazy with the bat. That doesn't even qualify the pitching. The
pitching. The ERA 2.93. He's technically not qualified in the rankings for pitching, but if you were to slot him in, he'd be third among starters in the American League. In WHIP, he's 1.087. That's fifth in the American League. And strikeout per 9 at 11. This is the guy's record, and they actually they talk about records when they consider MVPs as well, or Cy Youngs, and if you want to talk just pitching, right? But obviously, you got to consider his stat for MVP, but his record is 7-1 on a ball club that's hovering around 500. That's really good. That is extremely good.
He's a winning pitcher, dude. When he on the mound, not only is he putting up great numbers, but he's instilling his team with confidence, and they go and they get out dubs when he's on the pitching mound. He's a freak, dude.
We faced him the other day, the Toronto Blue Jays, and it was really amazing seeing him dominate our lineup and then go and then hit a triple or a double, extra base hit. I'm like, well, how did you do that?
It's actually stupid what Shohei Ohtani is doing right now. Now, his odds, negative 1,000, and I do believe that is rightfully so. The next runner-up at a steep disadvantage is a Vladimir Guerrero Jr. He's like plus 700, plus 750, so it is a big drop-off. What do you have on Vlad?
That's really funny you say that, because that's shocking, because when you look at Vladimir Guerrero Jr.'s numbers, you go, this guy is that far away from Shohei Ohtani. The guy has a 314 average, 409 on base. That's first in the American League. A 611 slugging. That's second in the MLB. Obviously, you're not counting Tatis. Hasn't been counted for. And then in first American League OPS of 1.02 Oh, 35 home runs, 88 RBIs, that's second in the MLB, and 90 runs scored, first in the American League. I look at this guy's...
First in MLB.
First in the MLB, excuse me. I look at these guys, this guy's the whole stat line and production numbers, and I'm going, yeah, this is a lock MVP year.
Right.
You give this guy, like, 5 out of 7 years, this guy's winning MVP. But
Totally.
This is one of the 2 out of 7 where you got a guy, a two-way wonder, a guy who's doing it on the mound and with the bat, especially like with the amount of home runs he's hitting. That's exceptional. It's almost, that's why he's such at a disadvantage.
Well, I mean, Vlad is having an awesome year. And I mean, no one can discount what he's doing, but Ohtani's OPS is literally 0.003 points lower than Vlad, and then also doing what he's doing with the pitching.
Yeah.
I mean, obviously, edge Ohtani. I do want to give a quick shout out to the third place guy here at a very steep disadvantage at a plus 4,000 in well, actually, you're thinking Marcus Semien, aren't you?
Yeah.
I was gonna say it is Rafael Devers, but Marcus Semien's tied with Rafael Devers too. So it's
wild.
We got some Blue Jays up there, guys. We do have some Blue Jays up there, but I mean, those guys, they're not winning. It's gonna be between one of these two guys, and Ohtani and Vlad. And frankly, I think it is a lock. I think that Ohtani could actually get hurt today, not play a single game for the rest of the season, and still win.
I agree, man. Like, it's a lock, man. Like, Guerrero, as soon as he started slumping, it fell away. Like, it was already starting to slip away because Ohtani was doing it again with the bat and the pitching. He just kept it up. And we kept saying all year, if Ohtani just keeps this up, he will win MVP.
He will win.
Vlad did have an advantage at one point midway through the summer when there was a little bit of dip of production from Ohtani, but no longer after the All-Star break. Ohtani is running away with it. I would bet, honestly, I should bet like a lot of money.
I would bet my entire bankroll on it, guys.
I would bet on it.
You know what really stands out to me? Vlad with the bat as a batter has a WAR of 4.8. Ohtani's got a WAR of 4.1. He's also got a WAR of 3.3 with the pitching side. As a pitcher, that gives him a WAR of 7.4, by far and away the biggest WAR out of any player in the major leagues right now. It's just truly ridiculous. And the other day when we went live for that game and we watched Shohei Ohtani pitch and then take the batter's box right afterwards and hit a double off of what we think is a great pitcher in Jose Barrios, that locked it in for me. This guy's your MVP.
This guy's
and he deserves it.
Guys, Ohtani and Tatis, that is our picks for the American League and the National League MVP.
So boring.
I know, right?
I want to come out with those hot takes like Jesse Winker, we're doing it.
But I want to hear what you guys think in the comments down below. Who do you think is going to win the MVP in both leagues? Is it Ohtani? Is it Tatis? Is it Harper? Is it Guerrero? Let us know in those comments down below.
Yes, my friends. You can also check us out on Spotify, Breaker, Anchor, Radio Public, and Google Podcasts. Also, please make sure to like and subscribe if you are new to this channel. Today, Jace is our code for Monkey Knife Fight and for Manscaped. Those are both of our sponsors, and you'll get great deals by using our code. Also, $3 a month to become a Patreon like all of these beautiful people.
Wow.
Shout out and thank you to every single one of our Patreons for helping us out, being part of this community. We will have one of you guys call in on our next Wine on Wine.
Yeah, buddy.
Another perk of being a Patreon member.
Yeah, buddy.
By the way.
Yeah, buddy. Guys, thank you so much for watching.
And
Go Jays, go!